Hello everybody, I'm doing a video today on how I make homemade Greek yogurt, and I've actually tried to do this a few times with a regular pot on the stove and just heating up milk, and I realized that that method doesn't work so well because overnight the pot really does cool down, and the best thing is that you want your milk to stay warm overnight while you're making your yogurt. So I went ahead and I bought a crock pot, real cheap. I got it for $20 at Sears. It's a Hamilton Beach. And I looked at a few other YouTube videos that made their Greek yogurt using this method, and it works. You just have to set it, and I hate to use the slogan, but forget it. Basically with a crock pot, you just put the milk in here, you let it warm up for a couple of hours until it gets to around 175 to 180 degrees. And when I put it on high, that normally takes about 2.5 hours. So if you're doing this for the first time, you probably want to check frequently your temperature until you get it, right, because everybody's crock pot is different. So since I made this a few times already, I already know that it takes about 2.5 hours before it becomes 175 degrees. And it's very handy to have a thermometer handy. I mean, it's actually really a good idea to have a thermometer handy, unless you have a crock pot that you can set it at a certain temperature. For about 10 minutes now. So I have it on high, and I'm going to put my milk in. Yogurt. Okay. And then we let it cool down for about 2 to 3 hours when it gets about 110 degrees. And that's when we add in the live cultures. We're back. It's been about, I could say, 2 hours and a half that I started heating up the milk in the crock pot. So hopefully it's not too hot, but if it's between 175 and maybe no higher than like 190, then that's a good temperature to turn off your crock pot and let it cool down for a couple of hours. Okay, so let's check the temperature. I don't know if you could see the bubbles. It's very little bubbles, kind of like foam. So that's a good indication that the yogurt is, the milk is nice and hot, but you don't want it too hot. Okay, you don't want to get to the boiling point. So let's go ahead and test the temperature. Okay. And it's going to continue to probably get a little hotter. So it's probably just a good idea just to go ahead and turn this off. It is about 175. Unplug the crock pot, and now this is the cooling period that I'm gonna let it cool down for maybe a good 2 to 3 hours. It actually takes a little longer to cool down when you use such a big amount of milk, especially cold milk that's right out the refrigerator. It's gonna take a couple of hours to cool down, so I'm not gonna come and bother it that much. Like I said, if this is your first time making the yogurt, you probably want to check on it periodically until you get the rhythm. So I'm gonna let it cool off. You don't add any live cultures at this moment, please. It will just burn away. They will kill the live culture because it's way too hot it needs to be around 110 to no more than maybe around 115. Okay. Says about 118 or so. It's gonna cool down regardless, no matter if I decide to put the live culture in or not. Let me just go ahead and just check the temperature one more time. I just have to go ahead and invest in a digital thermometer because this part could be a pain in the butt. If step, and this is nowhere near the final step. Let me tell you, doing stuff like this does take time, so you need patience. Gonna wrap it up, cover it up, okay, and this keeps any cool air out, and it keeps the hot air in, because this crock pot is still very, very, very warm. So you're just going to wrap it up like a little baby, snuggle it, okay, make sure the towel, okay, so there we go. That's the crock pot on the counter. I'm going to keep it like this for exactly 24 hours to tomorrow night. And then we move on to step 4. And okay, everybody. We're back for step 4. And it's been 24 hours since our yogurt's been sitting on a counter. So we're going to see what happens. And right now I got my strainer that I'll be using. You could use this type of strainer, or any kind of strainer is good. Right, put it like this, and this is good because it's reusable. I just wash it out, okay. So the yogurt's been sitting overnight on the counter for about 24 hours exactly. So let's take a look. And I didn't peek. Okay, you could see the condensation that built up, and that's perfectly normal. Okay. This liquid here on top is the whey. You could see. Okay. This is a good sign because that's a byproduct, so that means that we made yogurt. And I'm gonna just go ahead and drain off the whey. Normally, sometimes I do save the whey. I make smoothies out of it, because it does have protein in it. People use it for their vegetables. You could cook with it, soup, different things you could do with whey. But I have a lot of whey from other batches. They usually last for a few months, so I'm just gonna pour off all the whey that I do make in this batch because I really don't need this whey. This is what we have left. Nice creamy yogurt. Okay. But right now it's American. You can still put it in a container like as is. And this will be your American yogurt. Okay, but I'm going to strain it for it could be nice and thick. Okay. So it'll be ready to eat. You use plastic wrap to cover it. Okay, you want to press that down in there, kind of like airtight. All right, and you don't want it to get, spoil. You just want to keep it fresh. And I will be putting it in my refrigerator for, I guess you could say, 12 hours. And in the morning, I'll show you the results. Okay, so stay tuned. Bye. Okay, everybody. It's been about, I'll say, good 9-10 hours. So that it's been sitting in the refrigerator. Okay, so this is the results. Okay. That's our yogurt. Okay. And this is the whey. Alright. This is the yogurt. You can see the consistency there. It's kind of thick like ice cream. Look at that. It's really thick. It reminds me of the product that I normally buy, which is Faye. It's really thick. It's creamy. So look how thick that is. And this is about 14 cups of milk. And it's probably barely going to fill this container. But this is what happens when you do make Greek yogurt. It gets very condensed. Okay, if you didn't drain it and just left it as American yogurt, you will have more quantity of yogurt. But I'm about the quality of the yogurt, and I texture here. So that's all. This is my homemade Greek yogurt. Should give it a try. It's really creamy. It's good. It's cheaper, to make your own stuff. It took 2 days to make, but hey, it's it's worth it. Okay, so bye. Thank you for watching.